Well, a university study has found that alien invasive trees fueled last year's devastating fires in Knysna in the Southern Cape. The drought also played a part in the severity of those infernos. The study was done by the Nelson Mandela University in conjunction with Stellenbosch University. Let's take a look.
The study assessed climatic, weather and fuel factors that contributed to the fires. 7 people died and around 15,000 hectares of fynbos vegetation and pine plantation were destroyed in June last year. Many homes were also damaged. Researchers say pine is regarded as an alien invasive species.
More than half of the area that burnt in the Knysna fires comprised of either pine plantations or areas of natural vegetation that was severely invaded by alien invasive plants, a lot of which is actually the same pines that are planted in the plantations, as well as several Australian acacia species. Now, most of these alien invasive plants produce much more biomass and therefore fuel than our indigenous plants.
In a separate study, students looked at the flammability of other plants in the area.
And so far we've found that generally the invasive alien plants will burn slowly and they're not quick to ignite. But under extreme conditions, they tend to ignite and they burn with the highest intensity as compared to the indigenous vegetation.
While pine is a huge economic resource, researchers suggest there can be alternatives.
I think, we need to consider alternatives to pines. Are there other species, for example, that we could grow that are not as invasive as pines? Could we perhaps grow pine trees that are sterile and wouldn't spread? Could we perhaps release biological control agents onto the pines that would reduce their seed output but still allow you to grow the species and so on?
For major pine plantations, fire is the biggest obstacle. They spend millions towards eradicating invasive species.
We don't plant pine aster anymore. Pine aster is an aggressive species that distributes easily. We now plant primarily Pinus ellioti or slash pine, and slash pine has got a natural resistance to fire, but it also doesn't produce seed in this area.
Possible causes of the Knysna fires were either lightning or arson. Segri Chetty, SABC News, George in the Southern Cape.